welcome back to Words with Wayman. Thank you so much for tuning in. Support us on the webs at Words with Wayman on Twitter, Words with Wayman on Facebook. We're going to hop right in. Part 2, local Denver creative. She does music, she does comedy, she does art, she does it all. It's Becca Waugh. Thank you for coming back out. This is cool because we're hanging out outside of a mural that we're doing. We're doing this podcast live outside in front of a nice little mural you're painting right now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll take a picture and throw that up on the internet if that's cool with you.
Do it.
So people can check out some of your stuff. We left off in the first episode. We were just talking about just kind of like a lot of like your music stuff. I guess I want to focus on like some of the art and comedy stuff. How did you get into improv? Because that's how we met, I believe, the first time.
Yeah, I think so. So the guy that I moved to Denver with, like, kind of hung in the same crowd as Katie Bowman because she's from Texas also.
Another local artist who has been on the podcast.
Yeah, and so we just like met up with her, and then we both kind of got to talking how we were like both interested in comedy. I had done some like short film stuff, I guess, like in college with a friend that was just kind of like silly stuff and like a music video.
You did a part in our short film Day Off, which was unbelievable.
Yeah,
very great actress to work with. It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like met Katie, and then she was like, "I'm gonna go to a drop-in improv class," and it was Justin Frenzen's drop-in class.
Who's also been on the podcast.
Hey, name dropping.
He's great. He's I mean, I bet that was really awesome to have him for a drop-in improv class.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's actually, I did the class with Katie, and then that day he was like, our classes start this next week, and so we both signed up for it.
Cool.
And so, yeah, that's what got me involved in comedy here.
It is, I definitely feel like I did stand-up for years before I even tried improv, and I was like so nervous before I even like did my first improv class.
Yeah, I mean,
nervous.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of like, oh, I like comedy, and like this seems fun, and like being new to Denver too, it was awesome because I got to like know people. Yeah, and like our class was awesome. All the Spank Bankers.
Yeah, you guys did have a really fantastic class.
Yeah, it was just like a super fun time.
Did you go through all of the levels, or how many levels did you go through?
Yeah, went through all the levels and like put on the show The Eulogy at Voodoo.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So
I still see those posters up and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Do you still do it currently, or was that kind of one of those things that has slowed down a little bit?
Improv? Or, so I like did, like 2015, that was last year. Yeah, I did improv because I was on Hot Nap, which performed every Saturday at Voodoo, and then I was doing Dead Velvet Mother with Grafenberg Productions, and then I was doing like Chronicles, the movie, when it started. So I was like, so I was just like on a bunch of teams, and then also just anytime anybody would be like, hey, you want to come jump on and do like tonight? So I was just like, I was kind of addicted, and I was just doing it constantly. It
is one of those muscles that you have to flex all the time, though, too.
Yeah, and like for sure. Like I just wanted to like get better and like have fun and like I don't know, kick ass at it. So, but then I took a break. I mean, I guess not because I was like super burnout on performing or anything. I just like I got involved with Denver Open Media and I started an internship there.
And
because
for the people out there, what are you doing over there?
So what I'm doing, I've just been doing an internship with the public access TV channels that they have. But I kind of got involved because I was like, had in mind, since I am involved in like music, comedy, art, I was like, I guess I've had an idea for a minute that I want to like have a show, and like so I was like, I know so many awesome people here and creatives that I was like, I want to like be able to like put all the things I'm interested into like one medium, as well as just like be able to collaborate with whoever wants to also. So like so
and being able to record it and do all the content production side is definitely
so I'm getting to learn a lot of the production side, so that's really
cool, like editing and all that stuff. Especially because I feel like editing is one of like it's an art form that you have to start, and you definitely have to learn how to do. And running the cameras and getting the shots that you want is another thing.
It's all a different element, and it all takes time. But it's weird because like I actually really like editing, which a lot of people are like, oh fuck editing. But I just I don't know. I guess to me it's like kind of like painting, where it's like you have to be really meticulous, and it's like you have to create it in the way that you want. So.
And there's a definite start and finish, too, a lot of times, too, which I kind of love. Like, you know what you're going for. You know you got to cut all these clips up and then put them into something. But, yeah, it's definitely... it's one of those things that you can tell like who edited something, and you can tell how long they've been editing stuff just based off looking at something.
Yeah.
Because like there's some people out there that are just unbelievable.
Yeah.
How this is just a touch off topic, but how do you set your day up creatively? Like, do you do art in the morning? Do you write songs in the middle of the day, or does it kind of just like bounce around?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I was saying, sometimes like I will try to like set up a day, and I'll be like, I'm doing this. At this time, and then I'll kind of hop to something else. I guess since like lately I've been fortunately doing commissioned work, like that kind of puts a priority on it. So I'm like, I am painting today because I have a day off. So when I'm not working, because I'm like currently working at a coffee shop, and so yeah, when I'm not working there, because I work full time there, so I try to do the painting thing, and then I also intern like once a week. So yeah, I keep a pretty full schedule, and I just honestly, I guess lately I've been focusing on painting a lot more just because I have been commissioned. But
I mean, you got to go with what's monetarily rewardable at the time. I mean, if it's paying
pay the
money.
bills. Yeah.
What time's that coffee shop job? Is it like 6:45?
Is it 5:30?
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
I'm up at
gosh.
4:30.
Have you always been like an early bird?
No.
So it's been difficult. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I'm really tired. That's all. That's all I have to. Yeah.
Nice.
That happens.
Where do you find your inspiration for when you're like painting murals and doing the paintings? Do you start and then kind of just let it take form, or do you have like a thought before?
Yeah, for the most part, like a lot of the paintings I do that aren't like, I guess not the murals, but I do a lot of kind of like brightly colored abstract work, and it's mainly I just kind of like approach a canvas and I just start like just putting color on there, some sort of pattern or something, and I just build. So it's kind of like every element is like, oh, well, now I want to do this, and I kind of just like, I guess I kind of just see it, and then I'm like, oh, this would look good there, so then I just kind of build it.
So it kind of just forms itself as you get going.
Yeah, the murals, there's a little, like, I'll brainstorm sketch, just kind of like, yeah, just to kind of get an idea out there, but then, like, once I actually start painting, it's kind of the same. It's like, sure, there might be like a few elements that I'm like set on doing, but at the same time, when I paint them, it's always kind of different too than when
so
I
it kind
draw.
of change. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just kind of evolves, just because like
writing a sketch then, because like I feel like a sketch is the same thing. Like you go in with a specific idea, and then as it goes, it completely kind of changes. A little bit.
But like I feel like it's good. It's better that way, you know, because that way it's like more fitting to the environment. Like I like to, I guess, kind of play with the environment, like. The mural that's behind us, like there's a window, and I was like, I want to incorporate the windows.
Cool.
So I didn't know exactly how, and then I was just kind of like, I don't know, sometimes I just like look at the wall for a long time or a period of time, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. So
how do you get the commission mural jobs? Is that like a thing that just like pops up through people you know, or is it more that you go out and
this is kind of just luck, sort of, I guess, and then just being like, hey, I paint, and then I guess the first mural I did was this last month at the shop I work, and she was just saying she wanted like her back kind of patio area covered on the ground because it was like different. It was like cement, and she thought it was kind of ugly, and so I was like, oh, okay, I can paint on that. And then I guess the mural I painted is of like dinosaur bones, and I was like, I guess I thought of that because I was like, oh, in the Rockies they find like dinosaurs.
Nice.
So I was like trying to keep it like Colorado.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Were you used to doing bigger pieces like that?
Like
because I've seen some of yours that are pretty darn big.
Paintings are I like honestly started working like super huge. Like I first moved into like a fairly small apartment when I first moved up, and then I moved into a house that had like a garage and a basement, and I was like, I'm going huge, and so I did. And then I moved into like a place that's still like a decent size but not as big, and I was like, I need to start working smaller. Yeah. But
do you still make a lot of your canvases? Because I know some of the work.
I build all the canvases. Yeah.
And they're different than a lot. They're not just like a normal canvas. A lot of times they take on their own piece of art in themselves, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I like to. I guess like the whole thing with painting, since it is like just solo work, I just like keep myself entertained in creating it. So it's like sometimes it's like a differently shaped canvas, or sometimes like it's just even like how I go about like applying the paint. Like if I'm painting one thing and I'm like, I am like hating this right now, I'm like, oh, I know, I'll switch it up and just pour a bunch of paint on it, you know, and just like mix it up. So like it's like kind of a challenge to myself to just keep myself entertained
Yeah.
while working. Yeah.
What is your style? I guess if you could boil it down to just a smaller thing, what would your painting style be?
Painting style, I guess just I want to say impulsive comes to mind.
Nice.
So like I said, I guess some are a little planned, but at the same time like just playful. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That rules. I guess so. You're doing this mural out here, which is really cool. We're definitely going to put a picture of that up because I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Are those so you really like work on this mural and then go home and do like other pieces, or is it just like one? You know, since you put in, I'm sure you put in several hours to this a day.
Yeah, honestly, like, and especially like working outside in the sun, it's like pretty tiring. So like, I get home. I guess like I kind of got on like a bigger drawing kick, like within the last 6 months or so, just because
Nice.
I've been so busy. Like I haven't been like the only paintings I've actually done are the murals because like I've been paid for them. But like as far as like drawing, like I can still like create, but at the same time, it's not as physically demanding.
Yeah.
Because painting, like I don't know, like I guess you kind of don't think about it, but it's like, oh God, you have to like. You are physically like involved in like
climbing up on a ladder.
Yeah, or just like, you know, leaning into the canvas and like moving a lot. So
Yeah.
like drawing is more stationary.
Kind of just like more of a fun thing than actually work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both fun. Just one.
Yeah.
I think they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is I always ask this question on the podcast. Best case scenario, like 5 years, what would your life look like if everything could be perfect and
Ideal self.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes. Like, what ideally? God, I don't know. Like, I mean, it'd be awesome to just like continue what I'm doing now, except make more money.
cool. Yeah.
Like, I want to, you know, produce the show and like. I don't know. I'm excited about the show. I have like.
Do you have a form for the show yet? I love forms.
So the form is like non-form. So
Okay.
it's like. So the show's called Mountain Time. It's like
Nice.
Mount apostrophe in.
Cool.
Yeah. So Mountain Time is the show, and then it's just. Yeah. Right now, I just kind of have a lot of like. It's like I guess I have one kind of short film, one sketch. That's I guess sort of a short. I'm meeting with like an artist friend tomorrow because she wants to do like a performance thing.
Nice.
I've also been doing like stop motion of like me painting, so
Cool.
it's just gonna be like hodgepodge. I don't really want it to have like a set form of like each show is like 30 minutes and there's here's our music portion. Here it's like
Cool.
I want it. I guess the show's kind of focused on absurdity and spontaneity.
Nice.
Yeah, and beautiful things.
How long have you been writing sketch for? Is that a thing that you like to do?
Yeah, well, so like I guess in college that's when I first kind of started making. I just made like 3 kind of short films with a
Awesome.
friend, and she was studying videography, and then I was like, I have a lot of ideas.
That's perfect.
So I was like, yeah, we matched up. Like she's still
Yeah.
one of my best buds.
Nice.
But she's in Austin now, working with like a production crew.
Cool.
Which I think I might visit. I think I'm tentatively trying to visit and like shoot a short with her just
Nice.
for old time's sake or whatever.
It is one of those things. Like whenever I linked up with, I'm sure you know Jody Arrigo, but he's like a cinematographer up here. But he was kind of the same thing. Like he helped me out on my first short film, and like 48 Hour, and we just shot a ad for MTV like 2 days, like that you were in just a couple days ago. So it's like when you find those people that have these awesome tools and are really good at it. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome because like when you find like a creative partner where it's like where you can help support each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's great because then it's like, hey, I can provide this, and they're like, I provide this, and like, well, let's work together.
They're all
you know?
pieces of the same puzzle, you know.
Yeah.
And they're all creative too, but they're just a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting down to it because these things go pretty quickly. I guess if you could, anybody that's having like a hard time right now, like anybody that's like they're working like the job like you're doing, and they're not getting these mural commissions, or they're not getting good feedback on their stand up. What would you say to people? Like, what would you want people to say to you when you're going through like tough times creatively?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Do what you love. Have fun. Hang out with your friends, and I don't know. Listen to yourself.
I think that's perfect. Yeah, because I've been going through that lately. Of like, be well-rounded. Do a bunch of stuff, but also like take time off and go hang out with your friends, which I think
gotta have time for yourself to do
Yeah.
whatever. Just
I've tried to do that
relax
more.
or
But I feel like
take
this
a
is
hike.
the same thing, podcast. But we just.
Do you have any thing to say to the people? Because you're moving tomorrow.
I'm moving tomorrow. I'm moving back to St. Louis. I've always been on kind of like the line of, I don't know if it's shitty to say this, but like, if you can stop, I guess stop. Like,
Yeah?
I never thought it was like a choice necessarily, really. You know?
Wait, when you say stop,
Like, if people are like, I'm thinking about quitting stand-up, I'm like, you should probably quit then. Because this was never really, or like, improv, like, this was never a choice. Like, I have to do stand-up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I couldn't not do stand-up. I could not do
it's
art
like, well,
now.
give up. And then if that fires them to be like, no, fuck you, I'm going to
Yeah.
keep doing it, then they should keep doing it.
But it's funny because that's like the opposite of what this, but like the reason I started this podcast kind of was to like let people know how to kind of keep going, but I don't know. Because I think it's just like that
Just
innate
give up,
thing,
everybody.
you know what I mean?
Come
like this
on.
innate creativity that's inside of us that we have to get out. And somehow, and these different mediums are just ways for us to get the stuff out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we've just got our spirits or whatever you call
Sickness,
it.
whatever you
Yeah, this is sickness, and it just has to ooze out of us some
Right?
way.
Awesome. Well, yeah, just before we get out of here, you want to give your plugs where everybody can find you?
Yeah, so I have a phone number. I'm not going to
Don't give it out. We've made that mistake too many times on this
Okay,
podcast.
yeah. So BeccaWaugh.com. You can contact me on there. Yeah, you can look at Facebook and Matt Wayman. You're awesome for driving out here and
Thank you.
doing a podcast
Thank
with
you
me.
for doing this.
Very cool.
Yeah, support our website. We're going to throw some pictures of this mural up. Yeah, thank you again. It was a pleasure. And yeah, thank everybody for listening. We will see you all very soon. Thank you.